All right, guys, so for Tuesday math, we're going to do two things today. We're going to do some distance riddles, just like yesterday's math. So you can use your paper for this practice, or you will see that the Google Slides are the same questions as your paper, and they're set up the same way for practice on the Google Slides as well. And you're also going to play the game that we talked about on Friday. The game is called How Far from 100. So before I talk about the game, I want to remind you about this distance riddles. So remember, when you're trying to find the answer, what you're doing is you're moving down the number line, either up the number line really when you add, or you're going back on the number line to subtract. So remember that you can do that by showing your work, especially with the going backwards one. So I think it was 31 is that one that you have to do on the first one. So if I'm going to go backwards 31, remember, I don't have to go backwards 31. I know that 31 is made up of 30 and 1. And so what I can do is I could go backwards 30 first, and then I could go backwards 1. Okay, so don't forget to use some paper, some whatever you need to work it out and break that number apart. So then that means I would type in my 69 here and this star, and then I would need to type in the number over here, which would be 131. And then the last step is to find the difference between the two stars. Don't forget, we found a trick yesterday. We found a trick that was, if this middle mark is 100 and we're going to go 31 backwards this way and 31 forwards this way, then really if we did 31 plus 31, we would get the total distance between both of the numbers, which is a really cool trick to help us. If we didn't want to do it that way and that doesn't make sense to you, then what you would want to do is you would want to set up your work where you have the two numbers that you find, and you have a 69 here, and then you have 131 here, and you're going to make your way down the number line to find how to get there. So like, for example, I could add a 1 here and get 70. Then I could add 30 to get to 100. Notice it's 31. Then I could have another 31. That's not great writing. But then I'd have to add my 31 with my 30 and my 1 for the final step. Okay, so those are your practice problems on the paper with the distance riddles, and that is just part of your math today. The other part of your math is this game. If you were at school on Friday, you remember us talking about this a little. The recording sheet is the most important part of this because you're going to write down what you get. You're also going to need your bag of cards that you cut out, but some of you may have accidentally left them at school, or maybe you weren't here to get your cards. So I am going to send you the online version of the cards too, and I'll make sure that the steps are actually in the assignment. If you look right here on the assignment page, you're going to see that there are steps for how to get there. This is actually in IM, not Clever. It's in IM, and you have to click the button you see here on the screen, and then you click Savvis and you go to assignments, and you would see these online cards. Now, if you have your bag of cards and you don't need the online cards, what you can actually do is just pull from your bag like we practiced. But if you need the online cards, you're going to have to draw 3 cards, okay? And I'm going to put my 3 cards over here. Come on, little cards. Okay, so draw a card. Move it over. Draw a card. So I would reach in my bag if I have my bag. All right, so remember, one of the numbers you need to make is a 2-digit number, and our goal in this game is how far are we from 100? We want to get as close as possible. So if I'm trying to get as close as possible, I'm thinking 77 is the best number I could make, okay? So I can make 77. If I made 72 or 27, I'm not as close to 100 as I need to be. So I would need to record So I got 77. How far am I from 100? So you have to do a little bit of math. 23. You might have to write some things down to figure that out. And then my 3-digit number. I may have read the directions wrong to you guys. Maybe you can draw 3 new cards. Actually, no, I don't think that's the case because you can only write on your recording sheet, you can only write the 3 cards that you have. So then I have to use my 77. All right, so then I'm trying to get as close to 100 as I can. Ooh, I have a 2. I don't know why that 1's there. 277 would be my closest number. It's not cooperating with me. So then I would write down 277 as my number, which is 277 away. So on my recording sheet, I would write that down. And then my score is whichever ones got me closer. So my score that got me closer was 23. So then you draw 3 new cards and you practice again. You're practicing getting as close to 100 as you can. And you're thinking about, just like our distance riddles, how close you are or how far you are away to play this game. That's the point of our game. So don't forget to use your recording sheet to help you. If you don't have a recording sheet, I will try to have something for you online to help you with recording as well.